the day Fubara identified with the Igbos was the day his issues, his predicaments, his challenges got doubled. Yes, it is so because the federal government, which is what? Indirectly controlled by the Fulanis, will never allow the Igbos have their way, have their say, all right, and have all their wishes come through in the Nigerian governance and politics. You can see what happened in Abia State. How the Fulanis did everything possible to change the result, if not because the people, if not because the Igbo people, the Abians, stood with Alex Oti over the night. Those guys went days, not sleeping, they went for several sleepless nights so they could defend Alex Oti. Now, the same thing has befallen on Fubara Simulaye, who, of course, when he became the governor, identified as an Igbo man. He identified that, yes, though he might be an Igbo man, but he also is an Igbo man. And ever since he has now become the governor of Rivers State, we can see the level of prominence the Igbos have gotten. They have been able to regain their popularity. And Wike, who is a man to do everything, who is doing everything to silence the Igbos, who is doing everything to push the Igbos to the back seat, is in cahoots with the Fulanis. And of course, Egbetokun. Okay, so let me show you a video. In this video now, the plan of Wike is simple. INEC will not give Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission the materials, and that election will not hold today. This is pure anarchy looming. Let's watch the video together.
This is Lifford's judgment. And you see the position, the prayers that were answered by the court. There were 7 of them in that particular order that was issued and signed on the 30th of September. I'm very sure that that's the same one you are referencing, sir. Is that right?
You say what?
Is it the same, the one that was signed on the 30th September in the Federal High Court, Justice Lifford? Is it? Fantastic.
Yes,
so I just wanted to be sure that we are on the same page. But I'm hoping that my producers will put this up on the screen.
Number 7.
Yeah. So there are 7 prayers which the court responded to and gave its position. Now, in all of this, I tried to read, except if I omitted, my eyes didn't quite catch a few. But I do not see where the court says do not hold local government elections. It restrained the parties in it, including INEC, from giving out the national register. It restrained the DSS and the police from being part of the exercise. But there isn't any place where it has stopped the RCEC from going ahead of the election. Is it part of the prayers of the APC?
So there is. An election is a process, not an incident. It starts from announcements of the timetable for the elections, allowance given to parties to conduct their primaries and select their candidates. Then they begin to campaign and then go to the election on the day fixed for election, and thereafter results are announced. There is a process, and that is what the court referred to in number 7 here. I'll read it again. An order is hereby made, setting aside all acts or things done or purported to be done by the 1st to 5th, all the defendants in the case, in furtherance of the conduct of the purported local government elections in Rivers State, slated for the 5th of October 2024, until the mandatory provisions of law are completed. You follow? So this is what it is, that everything you've done in preparation of this election, the court has said is purported. You didn't do it correctly. Go back and do the right thing. And until it is done, do not conduct elections. That is what it means.
You can see what that man is saying now is simple. And I have seen so many APC urchins online People like Woye, they are APC and Yoruba Ronus. These are people supporting APC who do not want good things to happen to all states. I mean, I don't know what level of wizardry and witchcraft is living in the brains of these APC urchins. Why they will say that because Fubara will not follow a court ruling, therefore INEC will not give the state independent electoral commission to not give them the election materials. You can see the angle they are coming through, and these are all the handworks, handwriting of Wike. You see, they just use all manner of court injunctions. Court injunction. What is the court now is not telling Fubara that he did not go through the right process. He didn't go through the electoral act. What has the electoral act got to do with the state elections, local government election? Local government election is within the jurisprudence of a state, and the state has its own independent electoral commission, and then they define how they want to do it. If they want to do it manually, if they want to do it using machines. We can see what El-Rufai did way back when El-Rufai was the governor. Way back, was it in 2019 thereabout? El-Rufai was the only governor in Nigeria then who did electoral voting for his chairman election, where everybody were doing manual elections. El-Rufai brought in electoral machines. And what happened in Kaduna was people who didn't come from APC, candidates from various parties won their what? Constituency. He brought that transparency. And INEC could not stop it. INEC allow. So a governor will go in negotiation. They'll go on the table with the state independent electoral commission. The governor will disburse fund. The governor will do the needful, will define, okay, let us go through electoral process or we go through a manual process. But let there be transparency. And where does the people matter is simple. The people are the one that will demand for what? The right process. The people will demand for what? How they want the vote to be done. If at federal level, the federal government is using manual system of collation. At the state level, the Nigerian citizens can meet their state. Okay, we don't want manual. Because the most important election to our own well-being is local government. We want transmission, electronic transmission. By the way, conducting election at the state level is way cheaper. Conducting election at the local government level is way cheaper when you are conducting it at the federal level. So, August Governor, we want an electoral what? System of election and collation or what accreditation, what have you. This was what El-Rufai did. Now, Fubara is stating, Fubara is saying that his own election will be held today, and a night, just days after, a court injunction was issued, which is what? Duly perpetrated by Wike. Wike wants to alterate all electoral materials. He doesn't want to, and what he wants to do is take away the logo of that party Fubara is actually vying for, because we know that Fubara has his own candidate. By the way, and all his own chairman, local government chairman candidates are going through, I think they're using APP or thereabout. So Wike's intention is this: INEC, don't put APP logo, or even if you put APP logo, limit the numbers of ballot papers. You can see how Wike is evil, is the evil here. And this is why Nigerians must be ready to rise against Wike. Wike now has become so demonic. He has become so consumed by evil. He is doing everything possible. He is hell-bent on bringing Sim Fubara down. And this is why I'm calling even on those Rivers people. The Igbos should not be. At this time, they should not be late. They shouldn't sit back. You can see how Fubara wants to bring the Igbos to prominence in River State. So the Igbos must rally around him, just as they did in Abia State. Just as they supported Alex Oti, and we can see the level of excellence in governance going on in Abia State today. An election was conducted amongst the Nigerian people. Who is the best governor in Nigerian state since 2023 election? And Alex Oti came on top with almost 70% margin ahead of Governor Sanwo-Olu. So the Igbos in River State they have to rally around Sim Elaye Fubara. They shouldn't leave this battle alone for the Ijaws, because Sim has identified with the Igbos. We all know how Wike distanced himself. He said he's not an Igbo man. We know that Wike brought that bigotry, that hatred. He brought that hatred ever since Fubara became the governor. You can see how the Ikweres are now more happy. They are now sharing so much affinity. We have seen Fubara going to all manners of Igbo's occasions. We can see him wearing Igbo's attires. We can see him even speaking the Igbo language. Yes. And as a part of the majority tribe in Nigeria, I think with the Igbos and even the Igbo senators, even Alex Oti, even a Peter Obi, they all have to speak in defense of this guy. It is important, because this guy calling himself Wike cannot continue to do anyhow. He's now behaving like he's beyond and above even everybody. Wike is not important than the over 8 million people that we have in River State. I'm not going to talk about the president, because I know that the president has given Wike a go ahead. And what their plan is, they want to snatch the local government election. And whoever controls the local government controls the state politics. Yes, because when the resources goes to the local government, as it were, what do you think will happen? From there, they can interfere into the grassroots mind. They can manipulate, control elections at the grassroots. And of course, the state governor will just look like a figurehead. So this is why it is important that for every state governor, your local government chairman are in sync. You guys have that symbiotic relationship. And this is why Fubara is doing everything possible. But Wike is trying to play smart. He's trying to play the Alpha and Omega of River State. So all the Rivers citizens must endeavor that the police does not perpetrate that evil. I can see the police is saying they will withdraw, but again, they've deployed another set of squads into River State. Their target is simple. That electoral material, they want to cancel it. They want to announce it as null and void. This is what the INEC is trying to do. And again, you can see how INEC is a major problem for Nigerians. INEC is one of the biggest threats against this democracy. Even in other states that will be conducting election very soon, that will be conducting a local government election very soon, they have to understand that INEC is a major issue. Most especially when your state is blessed. You know how much River State makes. After Delta, Rivers is the next. So they are doing everything possible to what? Wike is doing everything possible to be the Lord. Just because he's seeking for his own 10% tithe from Fubara, he wants to make River State his own personal enterprise. The Rivers people must reject Wike by all means. If the police try to do nonsense, the Rivers people must say it emphatically that this state belongs to us, and this is democracy where the people must have their say, must have their way, and then must be in charge of governance. Thank you.